would like to present your 2020 Ballet Folclórico Valle Dorado from Golden Valley.
Pero no me digas cuándo, así me dijiste a mí, por eso vivo penando. A mi negra que la quiero ver aquí, con su rebozo de seda que le traje de Tepic. Cuando me traes a mi negra que la quiero ver aquí, con su rebozo de seda que le traje de Tepic.
Y hasta parece que ando en Tecalitlán, sí señor. Ay, qué hermosura de mujer he conocido. Nunca en la vida había mirado a alguien igual. Voy a cantarle una canción.
And good evening, everybody, and welcome to Golden Valley High School. This is Mr. Wiley, presenting our first ever virtual senior sunset, and we have a motorcycle that is wildly going by us right now. And class of 2020, this is our effort to try to make as many possible memories as we can for you, and everything we do tonight to try to bring up some highlights, a sense of normalcy with regard to this, do the best we can. We got the entire admin team here tonight. We are less than 10, so we are meeting the guidelines that are on there, but first things first, let's bring up our first two guests, and Julian, our cameraman, if you could pan over and see some familiar faces that we have right here. We have Mr. Hellman and Miss Antoine that have joined us, and first things first, Mr. Hellman, I know this has been a tough time for you as a principal. I talked with you on numerous occasions and all that. What are some thoughts that you have with regards to this, and what are some hopeful words of encouragement you have for the class of 2020?
Yeah, I just think it's just unprecedented times. You know, we've talked with a lot of our students and kind of gauged what they're going through, and we're feeling the same emotions here. You know, if you think right now what we would be doing, we'd have 200 senior students celebrating kind of the sunset of 13 years of compulsory education, you know, it just breaks our heart that we have to do this virtually. It's not the way we want to do it. It's not the way we want to spend the last couple months of this school year, but we have to, and so we move ahead, and fortunately technology allows us to do things like this and share it with our seniors, and at least, you know, try to bring a little bit of normalcy to a really disheartening situation. So
yeah, absolutely. And Mr. Hellman, daily we have our discussions about class of 2020. We wish you were here every single day in class, giving fist bumps, things like that I see you do with Mr. Hellman on a daily basis, and it's just unfortunate that during these times we can't do that. Miss Antoine, coming in here, you've been at Golden Valley now closing in almost on a decade, or even above that, looking at that. Never seen anything like that. Miss Antoine, I've known you since our days at South High, way back in 2007 to look at that. What are some things that you're thinking about during this time of school closure?
You know, it's a sad moment. It's when I made my video and I stated to them in the 27 years of teaching, this will be the first graduation I have not been a part of in one way or the other. I think this virtual thing is awesome because we are the eyes for them tonight. You know, we're going to see the sunset, and we want that to go through our eyes for them. It's an unfortunate situation that they can't be here. They've done a great job. Very proud of them to keep up the efforts and do what they have to do. And, you know, we've been in contact with a lot of seniors, helping them get through some tough moments. And, you know, class of 2020, it's unfortunate, but gosh, history's being made, and you succeeded through this. So
absolutely, that's a great thing to look at, is we are in these unprecedented times, not only for students, but I think it would behoove us right now to talk about Teacher Appreciation Week, and the teachers are putting in a lot of efforts throughout this week in creative ways, and I know the class of 2020 has definitely seen that. Mr. Hellman, what are some things that you've noticed about our teachers, and even Miss Antoine, think about that too as well? What are some creative things that you've seen in this virtual world that we're now in that you may not have considered to look at, that kind of gives you a little bit of optimism and hope moving forward?
Well, I think, you know, if you think of what our teachers have had to accomplish in 2 days, right? And we found out on a Sunday we couldn't be at school, and in 2 days our teachers came up with work for what was initially, we were thinking 2 weeks, and ended up being the rest of the school year. And I'm just so proud to be a principal at Golden Valley with a professional group of teachers that have pulled every stop to make sure that students are still moving forward in their learning. And that's what it's really about. You know, at the end of the day, it's not about grades or pass fail. It's about continuing to learn, and that's a lifelong lesson. You know, learning is something you should never stop and always be a part of, and even post-secondary, once you get past college or into a job, you continue to learn new things, and that's just a mindset I think that really has hit home for a lot of our students and certainly a lot of our teachers. So I've seen the incorporation of video and interactive activities and critical thinking that goes beyond just kind of rote paperwork, and it's been really encouraging to see the leaps and bounds we've made in such a very short amount of time. And then on the social emotional side, you know, teachers just checking in on students, absolutely, reaching out, just making sure they're, at the end of the day, they're okay, and that it just speaks volumes about the culture we have here and the care that our teachers have for their students. And you see it, you know, we see it every day, you know, but to see it virtually, they have not given up on any of their students, and have really made an effort to reach out to their community, and that just speaks volumes about the quality of teachers we have on our campus.
Absolutely. Miss Antoine, what are some of your thoughts about what the teachers have done, and what would you like to say as the AP of instruction on our campus? I know that learning and instruction is huge for you, so what can you say about our teachers and what they've done through this time?
You know, I just want to add on what Mr. Hellman said. The teachers are learning just as the students are learning through this. It's been a big learning curve. Also, teachers are notifying us every day, hey, I'm coming down. We have teachers checking the box every day for the students' work. They're not giving up on students. They're calling us and saying, hey, what can I do? This is where the student is at. They got some circumstances. We talk through it, and we do the best that we can. I mean, just a prime example is today we're on a training for the new canvas, and guess who's on there? Dr. Udo, guys.
Yeah.
Dr. Udo.
That's awesome.
I mean, he's learning just like so many of you guys are learning this new strategy of learning this way, and talk about success. It's just awesome. They're doing a great job, and our teachers truly care, along with our support that we have for our kids, not just the teachers, but Brittany and Delphon and our all our counselors. I mean, it goes on beyond just admin and teachers. It's there, and we make a phone call to these people, and they're on it, and they call these students or parents, and so it is a team effort at Golden Valley.
Well, I think even to our food service people we're still serving 700 to 1,000 meals a day that are being prepared, and our custodians that take care. I mean, our football field looks fantastic, just because our grounds and custodians have really, just even though there are no students here, they take pride in this place. And, it is a place. We come to school every day, and we're here, but I think the bigger message and the bigger thing for the students and staff is Golden Valley is bigger than just this place. It's a community. It's a community of people that care about each other, that support each other, and I think that's really what I take away from this unfortunate circumstance, is that really Golden Valley is more than a place. It's not just a place we spend numerous hours every day, but it's about the people and the students and the teachers and the community we have here. It's about the people in this Greenfield community. I think that's really important.
Well, one thing I want to capitalize is we give a credit to a lot of the other teachers, and they've done a great job, but for you guys, as I work with you each and every day, I just appreciate your efforts to serve our community. And kind of collectively, I just want the class of 2020 to know is that our admin team hurts, and that's why we're here every day, is because we want to do what we can to be that level of support. We're looking at 7:42. Julian, why don't you kind of turn around the camera a little bit? We got this beautiful sunset that's coming on according to Google. Yeah, I go to Google for everything. According to Google, at 7:45 is supposed to be sunset here. And if we look at that, and I'm looking on my production screen, that is an absolutely beautiful shot. And what we kind of want to do right now is, whether you're watching this at home or you're out in your backyard, we're going to kind of go silent for a few seconds so that you guys can enjoy this sunset as it trips over the horizon. And then after this, we're going to watch a little video on some of those teachers and what they've done. And then we're going to bring out everyone's favorite activities director and athletic director that are with us tonight to kind of share some of their thoughts. So we're going to go quiet for just a second, and then we'll bring up a video, and we're going to continue on through the night. All right, everybody, I hope you've enjoyed that sunset right now. We'll come back to it in just a second, but as Mr. Hellman and Miss Antoine talked about, we are going to watch a little video of some of the work that our food services, nutrition services employees have done, as well as our teacher. We'll be back with you guys in just a second. We always walk Bulldog Strong.
Well, hello. Hey. It's everybody's favorite teacher again. That's me. Hey, I just figured our topic today for day number whatever this is of the COVID shutdown would be to talk about, I don't know, the importance of health. I think you guys are all afforded a unique opportunity. I don't even know if you know this. You have a lot of extra time now, even though you might be shut in a place. But this is not a bad time to start thinking about helping yourself through exercise. I'd like to say diet, but we know that's not going to happen.
Put down the Cheetos. No.
You guys are young, enjoy it. When you get to my age, then the belly starts growing. Anyway, I'm lucky that I can actually get this gym, so I'll do a little bit of a workout here, but I want to encourage you guys to do the same. That should be enough for now. So, it's important at these times that you make sure you're still getting a little bit of a workout in. You know? Because you might have to be confined to your house, but you don't necessarily need to stop living. All right? I know a lot of gyms have closed down, and most of you guys don't have access to weights and stuff, but, you know, get on the floor, do some push-ups, do 100 push-ups. Or when I was your age, I used to do 1,000 push-ups. Okay? But, important thing, keep moving, try to stay healthy, because that's gonna help everybody in the long run. Woo! All right, that was enough of a warm-up. I'm gonna put some real weight on this thing now. Oh!
All right, welcome back, everybody. That was the Darren Bucky Swolosity video that we just watched right there. And we really appreciate Darren Bucky. I just want to give a shout out to him before I bring in everyone's favorite activities director and athletic director. But Darren Bucky is our Teacher of the Year. And looking at this Teacher Appreciation Week, he's done a lot, and I think the kids really appreciate. All right, let's get down to the two people on our campus that, in my estimation, are two of probably the most important positions we have on a campus, because you guys really direct and dictate the school culture that comes on here, and your efforts don't go unnoticed. Valerie Black, our activities director here at Golden Valley. Miss Black, why don't you start first and foremost? What kind of message do you have for our senior and our class of 2020s and just our students in general as we go through these unprecedented times?
It's a tough time for everybody, and none of us saw this coming when the school started, and we were seniors. We were out here for Senior Sunrise back in September, and we thought we would all be together on the field for Senior Sunset, and we're still trying to do that, but it's just looking a little bit different than how we had planned. But the message I would like to give right now to all of our students, especially the class of 2020, is I know that the end of your senior year did not go the way that you thought it would, but you have spent almost 4 years at this school building memories, and I hope that you're taking some time during this quarantine, shutdown, whatever it is, to think about those memories. Think about your freshman orientation. Think about that first Friday night football game that you went to, that field trip that you took with a club, taking a charter bus out of town for a playoff game, a club rush day when you decided you were going to join that club. There's a million memories that you have made over the last 4 years, and don't let what's going on now diminish any of that, and hold that close to your heart, because those memories will be with you forever. And be positive about your future, and know that there are good things ahead. This is a blip on the radar, but this will not be forever, and you all have bright futures coming up.
I agree. And, you know, Val, Miss Black, we've been in a number of meetings to discuss school culture and different things of that nature. And we talk about is trying to stay positive in the midst of all that, because it's easy to be defeated, but the message we want to send to kids. And one thing, I mean, we're trying to make memories, and one thing that's good about this virtual world is we'll put this on YouTube, and anyone can always look back about the staff members that we really do care about that a lot. Mr. Haskell, Robert Haskell, our athletic director here at Golden Valley High School, I know for you, we've had our conversations throughout all of this of how you're missing that kind of competitive nature with athletics. We just had our baseball field redone that we've got on there, and we were looking through a lot of positives. We have one of the top high jumpers and triple jumpers in Adrian Hodges. We're looking for big things this season, and all kind of got cut short. What are kind of some of your thoughts going throughout this time as an athletic director?
To watch all these kids grow since they're freshmen, and this is one of the first classes I had contact with, so it's pretty neat to see them grow and get better at what they're doing. Especially Adrian, you watch him as a freshman, not jumping very far, but working on his technique, kept on working hard. This year, as soon as track seasons came on, he was out there every day working as hard as he could, and then to see it taken away, it's just hard to fathom how that feels for him. And for all the athletes, our seniors were, baseball was looking good this year. They're out there practicing every day, getting harder. Softball, and just to watch them when it all ended, they're like, "Are you sure we're not going to play? Are we sure?" And then I don't have the answers for that. And then all of a sudden, it just all got taken away from them. It's sort of hard to feel.
Yeah. What are some things you'd like to say to those seniors, kind of moving forward? Because, I see students in your office all the time seeking advice about a wide array of topics, from academic support to athletic support to even just life support and all that stuff too as well, asking you for advice. What advice do you have to give to them, Mr. Haskell?
Well, I truly feel all my athletes, and they're not just my athletes, they're my my family, and I really care about them. And a lot of times we have conversations that didn't have anything to do with sports, and what I like to say is just you just got to go out, take this in stride. This is just a blip. You'll never, you'll remember this, but in the next couple of months you'll be out going to college, doing your thing, and it's all just going to come back around, and you'll be able to be a much better person out of this.
Absolutely. All right, as we watch all these, at least I do. I know Ms. Black probably doesn't watch Sports Center like we do and all that stuff too as well.
You never know.
But never know. But a lot of nostalgia, a lot of memories about most memorable type of events and all that stuff. So I'm going to ask each of you, we're going to start with Ms. Black. What was your most memorable kind of activity or rally or thing that you did this year for the class of 2020, 2019-20 school year? What would you say is your most memorable event that you had?
I think one of the things that I thought was one of the coolest events that we did was this senior class was instrumental in organizing and doing the first senior tailgate on campus, and we had never done that before. So I really applaud those senior class officers and those students who showed up to kind of be a part of history and setting what I hope is a new tradition at Golden Valley High School, and then to have them kind of parade into the stadium together and up into the stands, into the cheering section. It wasn't probably our biggest event, but it was definitely the most memorable to me for the class of 2020, just because they wanted to start something new, and they did it.
And it'll be something that I know we're going to continue. We've already talked about that going on there. Mr. Haskell, from the athletic side of things, what is some of your, or a few, you can do a few moments.
It's hard to pick one, but during our scrimmage, Vicente Alatorre went down. He hurt his hip, and he was out. But I saw him every day. They got back on campus, working harder and harder to get back on the field. Yeah. And he put in all the work. He finally got back on the field and was able to contribute. So just seeing that heart, and he's not the only one. Football hasn't been the great around here, but these kids have been going out every day, working harder to get better at what they're doing. And going forward, I think they set the precedent how this football team's gonna proceed from now on.
And one thing I'm going to piggyback on the football, knowing that I'm a football guy, that win against South High was a big momentum going forward. And I'll say this on the activity side, I've never seen a more energized football team, but a more energized crowd at that football game. I think all of us were in attendance. Even Julian, who was shooting the live stream game, was in attendance, which is kind of crazy to think about. Is there was an excitement and energy that was brought back, which I thought was really cool to look at. And there's some other really memorable moments. I kind of think of wrestling. You have Javen Rojas, who is the first, 4-time league champion. I got to show that out there. His father is a teacher on our campus and all that stuff too as well. Give that credit where credit is due. And just the consistency, are people taking pride in the field that we've talked about over and over again in our facilities has really been a great moment. Well,
and also our coaches have been really good at teaching our kids, and I think they've grown, and the kids have gotten much better. They're better human beings from being on this campus. I think we've always said all along, we're going to do what's best, what's right. We're not going to do what's best for us. We're going to do what's right. What we're supposed to do is what we're going to do. And I think a lot of these kids are out there doing what they have to do right now.
That's great. Well, I just want to tell both you guys thank you for coming out, and I think our kids really appreciate seeing your guys' quasi-faces with the masks on to look at. But we're going to take a short little break right now, but we do have a message from a few very important people that are on our campus. They'd like to give a little word of encouragement during this Senior Sunset Golden Valley edition.
Hey, Class of 2020, I just wanted to say that I hope you and your family are in great health and that you guys are spending quality time with each other. Now, I know this is not how I pictured our senior sunset or the end of our senior year, but just always remember that anything is better than nothing. I hope that you guys are all okay and that to always remember to stay positive, especially in times like this. I can't always see all of you guys and finish where we left off.
Hey seniors, I hope this video finds you all safe and healthy with your families. And I just want to give a huge shout out to those of you who are essential workers right now, who are going out of your way every day to go to work and risk your lives and just to support your family. That is amazing, truly, truly amazing. And I admire you, truly. And I just also wanted to give a huge shout out to those of you who have been posting your acceptances, who have already committed to your dream schools or just any school in general for college, and already have the next year planned out, and that is great. I'm so proud of you guys. I know that every senior has worked so hard these past 12 years, and that our senior year wasn't what we expected it to be, to say the least, but you guys have all handled it so well, and you guys have all kept your head up high, stayed positive, continue to practice social distancing, and I just want to say that you guys are all so strong, and I'm so very proud of you, and you guys never fail to amaze me. I'm so lucky to be part of a class who has honestly kept such great energy and hasn't lost hope, and that's the biggest thing that we need right now. And I just want to say that I miss you guys and I love you guys, and you continue being healthy and safe.
So 1st and 10 for the Rebels from the 20-yard line. Guzman back to pass.
Oh, it is kicked off!
It's intercepted on the interception number 16, Ernesto Romero. Touchdown, Bulldogs. Had he not made that hit in the first down, very well could have happened. Absolutely. So now the Bulldogs go into the air for the first time, and it's a pass. It's picked. It's caught. Is it caught? And his helmet comes off, but it's a reception. Now they're going I formation. And it's another pass up to the side. He's got the fullback for a tight end.
As they go for two.
It looks like it's going to be a quarterback keeper, and he's going to try to get in for two, and he pushes the defender off. And does he get in? He does get in. 2-3-yard line.
They go with the counter. He breaks the tackle, gets outside. My
Great
man to
job
beat.
bouncing to the outside, and a good pickup on the. So Guzman rolling out to his right, throws, and it was caught, but then bobbled. Going up on top of the press box with Kenny Calvin.
Whoa!
And a big sack in the backfield and a big
12 yards deep, and now he's backing up. But if he comes up on play action, and they go reverse.
And right there, great move by Valdivinos, and he gets to the outside. And
oh, and the ball is fumbled in Golden Valley.
And the Bulldogs have it. The Bulldogs have it. Are you kidding?
Wow!
And that's a handoff, and he threw. Oh my goodness, they let him through. Number 22, Isaiah Coronado scores. Touchdown, Bulldogs.
Wow.
And that's what we saw a glimpse of earlier this evening, and I just made Kenny.
Welcome back, everybody. We are live at Golden Valley High School right now, and I'm bringing on two more guests as we are enjoying this Golden Valley Class of 2020 Senior Sunset. We'd like to bring our deans to the table right now. We have our Dean of Students, Mr. Pablo Reyes, and our Dean of Instruction and Administration, Miss Jennifer Webb. Both of you guys, you saw that South High highlight South High probably hates me right now. I was there a decade, but it's okay. Anytime I can get my shots in, Miss Antoine knows I get my shots in. So first things first, you guys, you interact with students on a daily basis, and all of a sudden we go from almost zero contact whatsoever. I'm just curious your thoughts. Miss Webb, we'll start with you first. What have you noticed throughout this whole kind of closure about how both staff and students have responded throughout all of this?
I'm just really impressed with the resiliency of just staff and students. Talk about showing grit and GPS and just taking a bad situation but making the best of it, and just growing from it.
Yeah, absolutely. And Miss Webb, I know you have been helping students out along the way, that some students that may need accommodations and things of that nature, you've been very integral part of helping them out and get that kind of support that they need. Mr. Reyes, you've been coming out almost every day kind of helping out with distribution of meals and all this stuff too as well. And as a dean of students, you deal with students, and there's no students here. It's been just different. What have you kind of learned and valued, or what have you seen with regards to our teachers and students as well?
Well, I think one of the things I view my job is promoting safety, having a safe environment. That's my job as Dean of Students. And before COVID-19, I thought of it as discipline. And then after this, with the meal distribution, I'm still promoting a safe environment. Yeah. We just had some kids that had some signs. Thank you for not forgetting our food. Because if you remember a few weeks ago when store shelves were empty of food, when everybody was going, but the school still had food every single day. And it's a privilege for me to, and my security team and my officer, to be out there every single day giving the food out.
Yeah, that's definitely a huge thing, and I hadn't considered that, because you do take care of the safety on our campus, and it's something that doesn't go unnoticed. Miss Webb, kind of looking at, you were, former English teacher and kind of looking forward. Do you have any messages about, you talked about grit and all that stuff. What are some things that you want to encourage students to keep doing throughout this time? Because some are going to graduate, some are going to come to us next year. What are some advice you can give them moving forward?
Well, first and foremost, we're lifelong learners.
Yeah.
That's part of Growth, Pride, and Service. We're
Yeah.
Bulldogs. But I also love seeing kids being kind to each other and staff being kind. We say that we're there for the students, but really during this time, I've seen all staff show that exactly how much they care, and that's really good to see.
Yeah, absolutely, and I agree with you that completely. We're lifelong learners, and learning how to deal with this and cope with these surrounding environments is definitely something that is, like you said, is just an interesting phenomenon that we could never predicted kind of moving forward. Mr. Reyes, what are some advice that you can give, especially with students that may have been on the fence of where they stand, whether it's behavior or academics or things like that? What are some challenges you can give to our students moving forward next year?
I think next year we got to really focus on taking advantage of that class time. Because this was a last minute. We shut down the school in a matter of days, and it was a learning lesson for a lot of us. So I think just those moments when we finally get to interact with our teachers in person, really taking advantage, and that's what I look forward to, is shaking hands again at some point. I know it's going to happen, and I really, that's the thing I loved about as a teacher, is greeting students every morning, every period, shaking their hands. Good morning, ma'am. Good morning, sir. And I enjoyed that, and I know we all miss that as teachers, and I look forward to that day again.
Yeah, that'll be good. I think it's everyone. We talk about this often enough as it is, guys, is we didn't get into education to sit in front of a computer all day. There's a real human component about what we do. Any last thoughts that you guys want to provide, or anything that we didn't miss that you would like to say to the class of 2020?
Well, to a lot of these seniors, I taught them as freshmen, and it was so great to see them grow throughout the 4 years here. I'm just incredibly proud of you. Continue to do good things, and please drop me a line and let me know where you land, because I want to hear all the awesome things that you're doing, because I know you're going to go out into the world and do great things. So I'm proud.
Good. Mr. Reyes, what do you have for us?
You know what I love about this event, the Senior Sunset, we have the Senior Sunrise at the beginning of the year, which is a metaphor of the beginning. And the Senior Sunset is the end of their senior years. But you know what I love about Senior Sunset? there will always be a sunrise in the morning. And don't think of this as the end. There's going to be a new beginning next year, and take full advantage of your new beginnings.
Absolutely. It's hard for me to sometimes take your words seriously, Mr. Reyes, with your Star Wars mask, but I do appreciate those heartfelt words. I really do appreciate your guys' hearts and all that stuff too as well. Well, we're going to show one more video, and we're actually going to go quiet for just a little bit, and then we'll come back on the mic in a few. Julian, after this video, I'm going to have you set it on our scoreboard that's glowing nice and bright. One thing we are going to do is at 8:15, Mr. Haskell is going to fire up these lights so that by 8:20 the lights will be up on there. A lot of schools throughout the nation at military time 2020, which is 8:20, have been putting on their lights for 20 minutes, and we intend to do the same as well. So we're going to watch one more little video, and then Julian's going to pan the camera on for a little while, and we'll be back in a few minutes live at Golden Valley High School, where we walk Bulldog Strong. All right, welcome back, everybody. This is Mr. Wiley back on the mic. I have Miss Antoine with me now. Got to say thank you to Sophia Bernal Ramirez, our ASB president, and Lacey Gago, our class of 2020 president. Their speeches are awesome. They did a great job.
Mm-hmm.
And if you talk about two students that really do care deeply about the school at Golden Valley, it's got to be those two that do a really good job. I know you know both of them pretty well. Just give us some thoughts about Lacey and Sophia. I know you're close with both of them.
You know, for the class of 2020, those are probably the two young ladies I think of the most. When there's an activity going on, there they are with a smile on their face. They encourage. Right now, going through what we're going through, we're on Microsoft Teams as leaders of the class of 2020 and trying to come up with ideas. They're out there to support you guys, the class of 2020. They're working hard to try and get everything they can, towards as the year school year ends.
Yeah, absolutely.
Coming to an end.
Absolutely, and we brought up 2 names. We got our entire ASB leadership that we could go through and look at them. Chantel Chu, Rocio is out there all the time, just kind of helping out, put together ideas. We just got a lot of great kids that are willing to put forth the effort, and we brought up a lot of names that we've talked about. I know Rob talked about the very first scrimmage in which Vicente Alatorre, broke his hip or had this major injury, but we have a lot of kids that have gone through resiliency. I think of some of the moments that I have. I remember up at Tehachapi, probably one of the most memorable moments where the game really wasn't going our way, and we had a few injuries, and we had to go down to our 5th string quarterback. And I'll never forget this. Coach Kane was looking for someone to put in there and insert Everardo Rueda, and I'll never forget that as a senior of the class of 2020. It made me see that despite all the obstacles that may come our way, we have kids that want to overcome those obstacles and be successful in life and all that. And it was just a very powerful moment to kind of look at of what we stand for, being Bulldog Strong through growth, pride, and service. Miss Antoine, I know a lot of people are always curious moving forward about, end of the year stuff and end of the year activities and things like that too as well. And like you said, in your 27 years and in my 15 or so years, we've never seen anything like this. Moving forward, what are some of your challenges to students moving forward? You've been a former activities and athletic director. What are some things moving forward that you'd like to kind of urge them to do a little bit more that you may have seen them, not do in the past?
That's a tough one. I think through what's happening now, and I know this comes from Mr. Hellman, all the administrators, all the teachers, with the grades being a no pass and a pass, to continue being educated. I think through the trials and tribulations we've gone through, I think a lot of students are realizing just how strong they are, because knowledge is power. And we need it. I mean, we learn as administrators every day. Our teachers are learning every day. I think they need to take what they've gone through now and push forward when they go into their future, may it be college or military or vocational, that they look back and think, hey, I got through this. It was tough, but I got through this. And use what they use to be successful in their future.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great point. Learning everything brand new every day. I think the one thing that we look back is we say we're going to do this next time, or we're going to wait. But I think the lesson that we want to challenge all of our students at Golden Valley is don't wait. Do things now. Be involved now, because you never get those opportunities back. Miss Antoine, you and I can remember as being athletes in high school is, for you, your last track meet. For me, a last football game or a last basketball game, and you realize that you never get those opportunities in high school to be under the Friday night lights or to be competing in that setting. There's just something unique about the high school experience, and our big challenge for everyone is this life is precious and it's short, and make sure that you take advantage of the opportunities that you have when you're in high school and in college and beyond. Just do the very best you can, and don't put things off, because things like COVID-19 could happen that have shown that can kind of stymie our way a little bit. Mr. Haskell, I think now it's looking at 8:15 and is going to fire up the lights. And the reason we do it, fire up the lights at 8:15 and not 8:20, because I wish we could flip a switch like in there. I hope the lights come on. I want to say that. They better come on, or we're going to have some serious issues.
There they go. They're starting.
They're starting to come on a little bit, and I know Julian is going to pan out so we can start to see that. We are at Senior Sunset, and it's getting dark up here, but we are going to turn the lights on in Military Time 2020 so that we can keep these lights on for 20 minutes to honor the class of 2020. I will say this on a personal note. Last year, being my first year as an assistant principal at Golden Valley High School, didn't really know a whole lot of people. It takes a little while to get to know them, but in my second year, I felt more and more comfortable around students and getting to know them. And this is a special class where I think some people actually know my name, and it makes me feel halfway important around here. But I think you can remember those days where you come to a new school, you're trying to, always let kids know that you care about them. And I just think that, you know, this class in particular, heart goes out. Class of 2020. Gosh, looking at that, I'm going to give away my age, but I was the class of 2000 to start off this 2000 era. We won't say Miss Antoine's class. You were 2004, right?
Graduate?
Just kidding. We're not.
1982. I'm proud. 1982.
1982, the year I was born. We're going to put that out there right there. I just want to make sure we got that going.
As you were talking, I was thinking, okay, these are 12th graders, and I started here 12 years ago. So they were in first grade when I started at Golden Valley.
Wow, the memories go on to start to finish on there. But look how awesome. You got to give credit to Julian right now. Looking at the broadcast going on there, the lights coming on for you guys. I know it's 8:17, but we are closing in on that, 8:20 to kind of look on there. Creative ways, I got to say this, and I'm going to give a shout out to the entire class of 2020 across Kern County, because it's not just Golden Valley kids that have been hit with this, but I would like to say there's a lot of schools that have done a lot of creative things that we got to give a shout out. We are Golden Valley, and we really believe in that, but the Kern High School District, we're all kind of in this common bond, and I do want to give a shout out to the likes of Dr. Schaefer when I know that he is having a Microsoft Teams meeting with all the ASB presidents to kind of get their idea of how we move forward. And I think that continuity as a Kern High School District family really does permeate, because we're all going through this together. We're all dealing with some of these struggles kind of moving forward and stuff like that. What are your thoughts about all kids in general? I mean, there's a lot of cool things that have been going out. What are some things that you kind of noticed throughout all this time?
I've noticed a lot of videos. It's amazing to get on Facebook. I don't get on Instagram. I don't do all that, but I'm on Facebook. And, you've got messages from kids to teachers and teachers to kids and parents to teachers and so on, and from all schools. And you see all the different things they're doing, and you think, wow, this is amazing to try and do something to make these seniors feel better. You should be proud. You should be very proud. I mean, I'm going to talk about Golden Valley. You're Bulldog Strong. I mean, for the past 4 years, you were part of Bulldog Strong growing. We started this, and you were part of this to get it to where it is.
Developing that, branding
definitely.
That, putting that out there it's a lot of things. And, I have really seen in the last few years a real deep pride of being Bulldog Strong and belonging to that. And a lot of other schools are, want to be Bulldog Strong too as well. I'm going to go ahead and say it, because we have kids that are buying into the branding of all that stuff, and it's just been a really good time. Kind of cool shot down there, Julian. You could see that you have Mr. Hellman and Mr. Haskell that are still here, that are talking and looking at all this stuff. I will say this. I know he's down there, and we talk about that, but, Miss Antoine, we see this on a daily basis of, Mr. Hellman has really committed to being here for the community and for the kids and for the families and for the teachers. And I just got to give a shout out to our boss, who has really taken on the leadership throughout all of this school closure to kind of ease as much anxiety you can for teachers, for students, for parents, and all that stuff too as well. And when we decided that we were going to continue on with this senior sunset, we were all in, and leading the charge was Mr. Hellman. Give us some thoughts about our boss and what he's done throughout this course of this time.
Since day one, we've been here every day. Parents call, students call, teachers call, we get emails, we answer the information that Mr. Hellman is giving out to our students and our staff. As soon as we get it, from district, he's pushed it out. He's definitely been the leader in all of this. We're working as hard as we can, but we fall under him. And he's a great role model for us. And like I said, we're here. We're here as a team, and we're taking care of business as much as we can for all students, for all of our students. Our incoming freshmen, we've had, registration going on, dropping off, and we're meeting kids and families. So, it all comes from the top. And, I'd like to give a shout out to all the Kern High School District students. I mean, this is a tough time for all schools, and I know different things are going on down the street, from here, from Ridgeview and South, and everyone's doing great things. Yeah. We're doing great things. So we just got to continue it. But yes, our leadership comes from Mr. Hellman.
Yeah, absolutely. And we got a lot of great leaders in here, and I know we've hit 8:21 right now, and whether you're at the Golden Valley Apartments or you are in over by the Basque Hills Granite Point area
Rexland.
or in Rexland Acres. Hopefully you can see the lights on at Golden Valley. Kind of some last minute thoughts. I don't think we're going to be on here for the remaining 20 minutes because I don't want to talk for another 20 minutes. And I don't think people want to hear me anymore. And I've run out of videos too. I thought this was going to be a little bit smoother, but we're trying to concept out. I honestly think the beautiful sunset was awesome. I appreciate all of the admin team that was here tonight. Mr. Hellman, Miss Antoine, Mr. Haskell, Miss Black, Miss Webb, and Mr. Reyes all did a great job of offering their insight. We are a team and we're united to support our students and our teachers and our staff that are out there doing the great work each and every day. Some final thoughts for the class of 2020. I hope you stay with us. Follow us on Instagram and on Facebook and on Twitter, and even on our website. We'll provide more information. There will be some sort of celebration that's going to be coming our ways, kind of a virtual graduation / celebration type, and we'll have more information with regard to that. Some upcoming events that we do have is on Friday is cap and gown pickup. Come by. We're going to have some signs. I may have the Bulldog mascot on, maybe. I don't know. Some of you were hoping to see that tonight. But come by, pick up your cap and gowns, and we're going to give some cords and some stoles and things like that out too as well. We want to make sure that you guys get all of your regalia that you can have. We're still going to, kind of hold tight on that. And then we have some other information kind of going forward. Take a look on our social medias this week because we're continuing to celebrate teachers because it's Teacher Appreciation Week. Really, really cool things, cool videos in the next few days. We got one from the admin team that pays homage to music, and I'll just leave it at that, and that's tomorrow. And then on Friday, what I think is really, really heartfelt is some students put together some really encouraging thoughts for our teachers. But tonight was about the class of 2020 at Golden Valley High School. We love you guys. We hope nothing but the best for you, and know that the Golden Valley admin team, teachers, staff, we care about you guys. If you ever need anything at all, you can always come to Golden Valley or call us, email us, whatever you need, and we'll take care of you to the best of our abilities. But with that, with Miss Antoine, I'm Mr. Wiley, the class of 2020. Julian on the camera has done a great job to come out and help us out tonight. At Golden Valley High School, we walk Bulldog strong. Miss Antoine, last thought?
You know what? I wanted to give a shout out to our clerical people in the office.
Absolutely.
Because, if it wasn't for them, a lot of this wouldn't be happening. I mean, they're doing an awesome job. Our security and our ladies in the cafeteria giving out those lunches, as Mr. Helm. Hey, they're there. They're helping us out, and I just have to give a shout out to them. But, last thing is, hey, Bulldog strong. Congratulations, class of 2020. You're awesome.
And interestingly enough, Riley Dickey, who is a football player, Army All-Star guy, somehow hopped the fence, and he is watching the lights. We are closed right now, so I may have to go remove him, so don't start coming onto campus. But I do just want to say to everyone out there, walk Bulldog strong, have a good night, and we'll see you when we see you.